that are watching this pod and are brand new to AI, we're talking about prompts. So what exactly is a prompt, Chris?
Very, very good question. So the magical thing about AI is it can do anything that you tell it to do. So a prompt is you telling the AI what you would like. And so all of AI right now, it's generative AI is basically what it is. So it comes down to you put a prompt or an input in, and then you get the AI output. And if you don't get the right output that you want, you just change your input. So the prompt is essentially something like, research this particular podcast guest and give me 10 questions that I can ask them during the interview. And that's the prompt, and then the AI will then come back and give you the output.
And that's exactly what James did before
there's a little bit of, I started using ChatGPT just as it exploded, and that was the big thing. It's like, well, what's a prompt, and how do you get more savvy around it? A lot of people actually created courses on prompt engineering that they got the AI to write, then sold the prompts that it wrote. So there's a business in that again. It's a use case for people who are brand new to it. And with the advent, as the technology gets more and more advanced, you can be less of a genius when it comes to prompt engineering and still get a great outcome. So what was current 6 months ago from these courses I bought, and you had to say this, do this, act like that, and all these different commands, now you can just do this and it'll have the same outcome. So the speed of the technology or the ease of use is coming a lot more for people that are brand new to using GPT. But still, if you want to get a great outcome, put shit in, get shit out. But you put a very articulate and specific prompt in, you'll get a very great outcome. And then from that prompt, it'll spit out certain information. And then you can go, okay, what's next in the logical chain of command to get my outcome? So one prompt will get X, the headline, or the high-end overview, and then you go through and you just break it down.
You've got to basically talk to it like an employee, right? Like
totally.
say, hey, look, that's great, but can you make it funnier? Can you make it richer? Can you give more references to this or to that? But you need to be using ChatGPT to be connected to the net or something.
Yeah.
Can you explain that, Chris?
Yeah, sure. So there are plugins you can use for ChatGPT 3.5, but with the newest version on the premium plan, ChatGPT 4 it directly connects through the internet via Bing, which is absolutely Microsoft owned, obviously Microsoft backed. And so right now, you don't have to go to get any other plugins to connect to the internet. You just use it natively within ChatGPT 4, and it's absolutely amazing. And just one thing as well, just with the prompts, I'm just mindful of people who are watching this who may or may not, they've never used ChatGPT or AI in the past. You can just ask it, what do I need? Like, this is what I want to achieve. What do you need from me to make that happen? And it will guide you through the whole process. So to your point, James, you used to have to be very specific and clear. Now you can just ask it questions and it'll guide you through to get the goal that you want to achieve. And it's absolutely amazing. And what I just recommend for people, anyone who's watching, just create a free account. It's free. Just start playing around with it. Just start typing. You can't break it. And unless you're doing something incredibly silly, you're not going to get into any trouble.
I mean, just for fun stuff as well. Like, if you're not sure, like if you're going to plan a trip, I'm going to plan a trip to Italy later in the year, and I said act as a travel planner, tour guide, whatever. I want to go for these cities, and I want to do it over this amount of days, and I want to have a break in each. I want to have a transport, I like some transfers. I want to go business class. I want this, and this, and there it was, the whole
Straight
trip
out.
with all the costs, the hotel costs, the flight costs, the timing of all the. It was just like.
And Expedia's now developed a plugin where it'll say, would you like us to book that? And it integrates with your Expedia account and books it all for you.
Yeah,
right there on the spot, which is amazing.
Do away with the travel agent, right? And that sort of happened because, when you sit down, I know I'm going to a rabbit hole here, but if you sit there with your partner or whoever it is and plan out a trip, it can take weeks to work it out properly. And you just go,
it's a massive.
And just go bang, and it's done.
Yeah, and you can say less. Can you give me less restaurants and more physical activity or whatever? And it says, yeah, no problem. It is really like I used it, Chris, with my PPC data in my electric toilets business. We advertise on Google. So I exported my data for the last 9 months and last 6 months, and I just drag and dropped it into ChatGPT 4 and said, I have a really important meeting tomorrow with my boss. Can you translate, with my boss who's the marketing manager, can you translate all this data for me? Tell me my best-selling products, my worst-selling products, my best ACOS, which is return on ad spend, ROAS, return on ad spend. Can you give me some, and I actually wrote this, can you give me some fancy pie charts and bar graphs so it looks like I've really done a lot of work? And what was amazing, it said, yeah, no problem. And then as it was opening the data, it said, sorry, the data's formatted incorrectly. So I'm just trying to do this workaround. Just hold on. And it literally said this to me as I'm doing it. It says, I've now moved to line 1, 2, and I've solved it. Oh, but there's another problem here. Wait, I'm just working on it. And this is, all right, I've worked it out. Here it is. And it produced this report with everything, including the line graphs, the bar charts, the ROAS, the top performing, the worst performing. And I was like, oh my God. And it was all about that prompt, like in the context of it's for my boss. And it said, you know, it wrote it in that context.
Now, is that on the free ChatGPT or do you have a subscription?
That was a subscription.
Now, what's the difference, Chris or Adam,
Because you can't drag and drop data
free
into the free.
and subscription?
And internet. No, you won't be able to go out and search the net. So it's a paid version 4.
Yeah,
4.5
version
now.
4.5 is coming very quickly.
Yeah.
So right now on the paid plan, you get a better model, so you get 4 versus 3.5, which just means it can interpret things a lot better. It can analyze a lot more data. So I think it's up to 300 pages worth of data in one.
And it accesses
document.
the internet where the free one doesn't?
Correct.
And it's cheap, right? It's like $20
$20 a month.
$20 a month. It's
Guys,
unbelievable.
It's a multi-million-dollar tool. Like you think about, like we've all seen Iron Man, and you would think, how cool would it have been to have a Jarvis type tool? We've almost got that right now. Just even with a $20 a month tool, you don't have to be a zillionaire like Iron Man was. So,
And with that, I think it was you, James, maybe that was saying that it can only access internet up to a certain year.
correct. No, so on 4, it's just released up to April 2023. Sorry, April 2023 now.
Okay.
But when you put a prompt into actually go and search the net, it'll bring up and scour the net and bring you live data, and it'll reference the URLs that it's gone and found. So it summarizes it for you and then puts a little parentheses there, and you can click it and it takes you to the web page that it found the data from. So now I generally, out of 10 searches I used to do online through Google, I do them all through ChatGPT now. I use it as a search engine.
That's interesting.
I don't use the Google unless I go, opening hours of Stockland, Burleigh, whatever, 8 o'clock, cool, and I'll give them a call.
Is that because it's ad-free, you prefer it, or do you?
No, just because it gets me the right answer without having to go through 3 or 4 websites. Just bang, there's the answer.
Exactly. So imagine how, like, you get your search results. You have to click into each website and go, oh man, this is trash. I'm going to go back and forth. And it'll give you all those ones there with a summary.
Exactly. Summarizes it with the link for reference if you want to have it as well. So I use it all the time.
So you've got it open as a tab on your computer all day.
Always. And with the GPTs, when you go in and start a new chat, and Chris, you'll attest to this, is when you prime the AI with what you want it to be, act as a X, do X, Y, and Z. You just leave that there, because if something you're going to use, like act as a copywriter for a healthcare company, it's just there permanently. I go back to it, go, right, now I want to update this copy, and it's already been trained on how to write the way I like it to write for that specific use case. So it just sits there. It's my copywriter that sits there permanently.
Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that episode of Unemployable. If you want to watch another clip, click here, or if you want to see the full episode, click here. Bye for now.